topic and the focus of the show. What's the recourse? We have the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, which has to up its game because they haven't been as effective as they should. What else? How are you interacting with IPOA in your line of work? How are they helpful? And what else can we do to hold the police to account?
Yeah, I think IPOA as a tool was with the right intentions, within that framework of reforming the system and just being able to create an independent oversight. As we say, they are civilian, it's not the police. But then I would say, as you said, I think one of the difficult things has been also being able to track the processes at IPOA. I think for me, it's being able to know what cases are they investigating, how far are we with the investigation is really a challenge, because they often will refer to their annual reports, and then when you go look for the annual reports, they are old. Like, I think the last one on the website is 2019. So 2020, 2021, we are now in 2023, 2022. Where is the information? But I think also they have cited other challenges in various engagements with them that hinder them from being able to effectively perform their mandate, which are issues that we also need to assist with, so to say, whether it's by advocacy, whatever support we can provide. Issues like capacity gaps, because at this moment, for instance, when you're talking about countrywide protest, then they would need to be on the ground across the country with sufficient staff, with sufficient resources to be able to be on site, to secure. You see, things are happening so fast, but you need to be there, secure the scene, follow up on those people. Like when people go to hospital, if there are allegations of this person was actually shot by an officer, who's securing the evidence, and the evidence starts from the bullets. You need the bullets to be able to pursue the matter. Is IPOA there to be able to, and do they have the capacity to do those things? And then we have issues of, again, being able to cooperate with the police, because unfortunately then you circle back to the police. As I said, the law requires the police to actually report themselves, right? Once injury or death has been caused, it's your obligation to notify IPOA and invite them to the scene. That seems very idealistic in our context. And then now you also have to work with them, to cooperate with them. And then there has been like a tiff between, because we then have an internal affairs unit that almost does the same jobs. There has been quite a bit of push and pull between IPOA and IU on what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to do. And then even in law, they're allowed, like the fact that IPOA is proceeding with the investigation does not preclude the internal affairs unit from doing their investigation and carrying out their disciplinary processes. So those are just some of, and then there's the issues of witnesses, and people being able to follow up with complaints is also another thing that you talked about citizen responsibility. If you record something as a citizen, as a journalist, I think you should also be able, or you should have the courage to also come forward and support if witness statements are required. If, for instance, if it's video evidence, there's a whole other technical process to it in terms of the production of that evidence. So they need that witnesses. They have cited situations where complainants and witnesses are not willing to pursue these matters because they are afraid. But also then that is also mirrored by the issue of how effective are our witness protection frameworks in the country, because then if you're dealing with police, they're within your locality, you need protection. You probably need to go through the whole witness protection, remove from that place, and it's a whole thing. But I think, and then the result of that process more often than not is probably a criminal prosecution. But there are also other alternatives, like you can also go to court. You can institute a suit against the, I think I saw...
As a citizen.
Yeah, I saw a decision last week, I don't think it's been published yet, but I saw a story about a family that actually sued the Ministry of Interior, and actually the Court of Appeal has awarded them damages over somebody. I think it's their kin who died. And it was in the context of a protest, yeah.
Okay.
And then you can institute through the constitutional courts. I think those are just some of the various, it ends up in court, but I think we need to also like be willing to pursue those processes. I see that as, it might take a while, because even those petitions take a while. You'd think that because we have a specialized division, human rights cases are fast. No, I think we have now also created too many cases, and it's not really as fast, but then just being able to see that process through is, in the end, we can find accountability, because then if police officers are also charged and people are not willing to go and be witnesses, then it becomes a problem.